Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here, or you've been here before but haven't subscribed yet, please do so, along with hitting that thumbs up button for me when you get a chance, and dropping your comments. Definitely want to hear your thoughts and feelings about anything Knicks, especially this particular video. We're going to dive into what is making this Knicks offense cook right now. There's been a lot of discussion about the space and pace aspects to Mike Brown's philosophies, his concepts. We're going to look at actually how that is coming to fruition and who is benefiting. You'll be surprised, but basically everyone's benefiting. And so we're going to jump into that. We're also going to preview the week ahead of games. Knicks play 3 games this week, and let's just jump into it. Here we go. So this week, the Knicks play the Memphis Grizzlies the 11th, Tuesday, and then they play a back-to-back on Wednesday. They have the Orlando Magic come into town, and the Magic are a bit in disarray right now. So are the Grizzlies. So it's going to be interesting if the Knicks can sweep that back-to-back at home. That'd be fabulous, because then on Friday they face the Miami Heat, who we all know they lost to. They're one of the 3 teams that they lost to. So it'd be nice to see if they can get some redemption against them. And they don't play over the weekend. They play on Monday would be the next game. So they'll have a nice little weekend break there. I'm expecting big things here. The Knicks are riding a 4-game home winning streak. And I just, other than the Miami game, I don't see many concerns with these other 2 teams at this point. Maybe that's being short-sighted. They have a lot of issues right now, and the Knicks are rolling. I don't see, barring some unexpected result or somebody having a career night, which we know at MSG, opponents, when they come into MSG, they tend to have career nights. So we'll see about that. But I'm more focused on what the Knicks are doing right now. Let's keep going here. Right now, there have been 4 NBA games this season where a team has had 140-plus offensive rating. 2 of them were the Knicks. That's and it was their last 2 games. New York Basketball tweeted this out. That's phenomenal. Right now, the Knicks are cooking on all cylinders. They are averaging 135 points per game in the past 2 games. They seem unstoppable. I mean, the only thing that can really stop them right now offensively are themselves. And at this point, it looks like they're all embracing the concepts that Mike Brown has put forth, and they're all benefiting from it, some to a greater degree than others. But that is the beauty of this. If it's 100% buy-in, then everyone sits at the table and feasts. And that's what we're seeing here with the New York Knicks. No Knick played 30-plus minutes tonight. That was last night. And they won by 36. Look at that smile on his face. This might come off as a dig at Thibs, and it is. It is, absolutely. I was utterly disgusted by the way Thibs overplayed our best players, especially last season, the past couple seasons. And I kept banging them. I was probably the chief of the minutes police, and a lot of you agree with me, a lot of you disagree with me, but at the end of the day, these are human beings. You cannot, they're not, they're machines. They need rest. They need to be able to be fresh, to be at their best selves, and we're seeing it happening right now. We even had extended, almost 8 minutes of garbage time last night, and I couldn't be happier that this is working, especially since it got off to a little bit of a rocky start. Knicks lost those 3 games on the road, and we were all kind of nervous after Game 5, and the Knicks were coming back home 2-3. Well, things have taken a quick turn. It's still really early in the season, and no major injuries have happened. They missed a couple games one game from Josh Hart, and then he basically looked like he should have taken more time off because he looked so rusty at first. Cat nursing that quad. There's definitely been some issues. Deuce, his own personal issues, missed some time. Buscelli's gotten off to a rocky start. Clarkson as well wasn't that effective in the first couple of games, but Brown asked for patience, give it time, and we need to stay that way. We can't, get too overhyped, but we can't downplay what they're actually doing, what we see with our own eyes. We cannot downplay it. It is truly fun basketball to watch. It's beautiful basketball to watch. And at times, fabulous defense at times. There's definitely defense is a work in progress, but right now they are positioned beautifully to succeed. And no bigger reason for that than the, ascendance of OG Anunoby. Tommy Beer tweeted this out. OG Anunoby is averaging career highs in points, 18.2, rebounds, 6.2, and that's humongous, the rebounding. Steals, 2.2. He's one of the steals leaders in the NBA right now. I think top 5 or 6. 3-pointers, he's making 3.1 per game, and 3-point percentage. He is averaging 43.8%, which is a career high for him. And as Tommy points out here, he's doing all this despite averaging 3 fewer minutes a night compared to last season. 36.6 versus 33.2. And that speaks, that calls back to what I was saying before. Players are sharper. They can play, they can reach their highs much easier when they're not being, their tank is being depleted. But enough of that. So these are the last 5 matchups that the Knicks have had against the Grizzlies. We're going to get back to this because now we're going to jump to what is happening with this offense. There it is. New York Knicks currently have the number 2 rated offense in the entire NBA, just a sliver behind the Houston Rockets, who are at 121.7. Knicks have a 121.6 rated offense right now. And then when you look at the net rating, beautiful. They are 4th in the NBA right now. Now, the defense is doing its job. The defense has definitely improved. It's a top 10 rated defense right now. We'll have another video where we get into discussing how they can solidify a top 10 defensive rating by the end of this season, or maybe even creep up into the top 5. We shall see if that's even possible. But right now we're focused on the offense, and the offense is cooking. This is, probably one of the best offenses the Knicks have ever had in the history of the franchise right now. And this captures it all. Right here. This is an MSG graphic from last night's game, Pass to Success. They've actually, I think last night they had another 30 assist game, so they've had 4 30-plus assist games. And this season, this is passes, before last night's game, they were averaging 310.4 passes per game, which was 5th best in the NBA. Last season, they averaged 281.2 passes per game, which was 18th in the NBA. Now, after last night's game, you see the asterisk, it's the passes per game have come down to 306.1, which is still 5th best in the NBA. So the passing is up. And how is that turning into buckets? Well, speed. Not only are they passing more, it's increasing the pace of the game itself, the speed of the players. This is showing a comparison of last year's average team speed to this year's average team speed with the ranking below it in orange. So last season, the total team speed was 4.16, which was 25th best in the NBA. This year, it's up to 4.5, which is 10th best. The offense was 27th ranked last year, which is abysmal, a 4.36 for an offense, and now it's up to 4.73, which is not in the top 10. It's a 14th best, so there's still room to grow there. But look at defensively what's happened here. Last year, they were had the average team speed of 3.95, which was 19th best. To this season, they're at 4.25 defensively, which is 5th best. And before last night's game, they were 3rd best, 3rd fastest team speed defense in the NBA before last night. So they had to slow down. The Nets, they weren't that much of an opponent to deal with offensively. But I'm expecting them to stay up there. Look at that. That is truly eye-opening. So they're moving quicker. They're passing more. And what's the key to Mike Brown's offense? Race to the corners. Now, it doesn't mean that's in transition, of course, but when you're in the half-court offense, constantly keep moving, cutting to try to end up with high-quality shots. Not just a good shot, but a great shot, great opportunity. And we knew that earlier in the season when things weren't going that great, Knicks were getting great looks. They were actually tops in the NBA and getting quality open shots. They just weren't making them. And we knew that wasn't going to last very long. There's too many great shooters on this team, especially if you give them room and space to work with. Well, look who are the top 2 corner three-point shooters in the entire NBA right now. OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. OG Anunoby, 57%. He's hit 57% of his corner threes. And since he's classified as a forward, he gets the top percentile ranking, 100 percentile. And then Mikal Bridges, as a wing, is the top wing, shooting 68%. Lights out from the corners. Unbelievable. Truly, I mean, beautiful stuff. Mikal has hit 17 of 25 corner threes, and OG has hit 17 of 30. So between the two of them, they're 34 and 55. Tremendous efficiency. Will that stay? Of course not. But they will stay at the top. They are they're proving right now they are the 2 best corner three-point shooters in the NBA. But they have been for their careers. Last year was a bit of an outlier for OG. He did not have a great three-point shooting year from the corner. Mikal did. Mikal ended up 42.5%, but OG did not. So now Mikal's making that leap. He's probably going to improve upon last year's performance, and we know what OG's just taken a giant leap forward right here. Also, just to point out as well, look at the field goal percentage from Mikal Bridges. He's in a 96 percentile, 66.8%. OG's 79 percentile, 60.7%. So, and then in the long mid-range, which sometimes you have to take a long midi right there. 91 percentile for Mikal, 72 percentile for OG. Mikal's hitting 83% of his long middies. It's a really small sample size because they haven't taken that many. And OG's hitting 50% of those. Now, so there's that. But there's something more to this. Because catch and shoot, I mean, most of your corner threes are going to be catch and shoot or spot up. You know, the difference between is you catch it, it's the same, it starts the same. But a catch and shoot is there's no dribbling, nothing. You just shoot. The spot up, you can pump fake, dribble, sidestep, or drive and shoot, but it's still considered a spot up shot. Look at what the Knicks have done. This is right here where I'm going to show you is the whole secret. Not even a big secret. It's what should have been happening last season. Lean into the catch and shoot. But it's hard to develop catch and shoot when you have an offense that is more focused on isolation plays. Right? Look at this. Catch and shoot outburst. Comparison from this last season to this season. Last season, they generated 28.5 points from their catch and shoots, which was ranked 23rd in the NBA. This year, they are number 1. 41 points from catch and shoot. Excuse me. The lingering cold. 41 points are being generated from catch and shoot right there, which ranks them as first in the entire NBA. That is a 44% increase over last year. All right, it's phenomenal. And look at the field goal attempts. They only had 24.9 field goal attempts from the catch and shoot. This year they have 33.4, which is 4th best in the NBA. The field goal percentage. Last year, they were very efficient, which is one of the reasons they should have been leaning into this. And they should have been shooting more threes. But Thibodeau could not construct an offense that created those. And that is the major difference here. That's what Mike Brown has done. He's created an offense where spray that ball. And not just spray it, but then make that, if you don't have a clean look, make that extra pass. And if you don't have a great look, make that extra pass. Sometimes it's the 4th, 5th pass, the 6th pass. Is what creates that beautiful shot. And that's why the Knicks are now leading in catch and shoot field goal percentage in the NBA with 41.6%. Compared to last year where they were at 39.1%, which was really good, but the attempts were much lower. They are now attempting a third more catch and shoot shots this year than over last year. But they're attempting even more than a third three-point shots. They last year attempted 23.4, which was 27th ranked. This year, they are 4th most catch and shoot three-pointers, 31.9. And their field goal percentage from the three-point line, number 1, 42.2% this season. Where last season they were a high quality top 7. 38.8%. So Brown has taken something that the Knicks were already excelling in last year, leaned into it, and now has it increased the ability for them to make their shots because they're getting cleaner looks. That is why the Knicks now have the #1 rated offense in the Eastern Conference. There it is, right there. And who's responsible for that? Mostly 3 guys. Look at this. OG Anunoby, his scoring increase from catch and shoots is up 50% over last season. He is averaging 8.7 points per game off catch and shoot. He's attempting 6.1 catch and shoot 3-pointers, and he's connecting them at 44%. Mikal Bridges, he's up almost 20%. His points, 7.8 points per game. His 3-point attempts, 4.9, and his 3-point percentage is 46.2%. Fabulous. These are outstanding catch and shoot numbers, especially from the 3-point line. But look at Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson last year averaged, I believe, 2.3 attempts. 2.4 points from catch and shoot last year. This year, he's up to 5.1, a 112% increase over last year. This is what we wanted. More off-ball Brunson, because he's one of the best catch and shoot shooters in the NBA. He's one of the best shooters in the NBA. And then catch and shoot, even better. Look at this. He's hitting 50% of them. I want to see more. He's at 3.1 attempts. I want to see him get up into between Mikal and Anunoby range. I want to average 5 3-point attempts from catch and shoot. Now, some nights it will, some nights you can't. Some nights you're going to have to lean into, some ISO plays here and there. But when you talk about isolation plays, Knicks are having 21% less isolation possessions this year over last year. 23% less frequency than last year from isolation. But spot-up shooting, Knicks are up 43% in spot-up shooting. They went from 26.3 possessions last year to 26.3 possessions last year to 37.7 possessions this year. That's a 43% increase. That's the magic right there. That is the magic. The catch and shoot outburst that this Knicks team is experiencing is become another level. And remember that Cat hasn't even begun to scratch the surface. Gershon Yabusele is struggling a bit. Hart's numbers, I didn't put him in because they're a little dirty right now. We'll see. But he's also been displaying a willingness to shoot as of late, and he's making his buckets. Deuce also has increased his numbers as well. He just has had a couple of not so great shooting games, but his point increase over last year is up 16%. He's hitting 50% of his 3-point catch and shoot shots, which is at 2.9, just below Brunson. So yeah, Deuce, Brunson up there. Clarkson is starting to hit some catch and shoot shots. That is the key. But the key, it all starts off the motion offense, the read and react, but get in deep into the paint and spray the ball. Usually it's out into the corners, and if a guy's closing out hard on the corners, you swing the ball out, and they just keep looking for the guy who's got the best shot, and that's what the Knicks have been successful doing of late. Fabulous. Love what's happening here. This was a big revelation here. Now we're going to get back to this. All right, so let's talk about the upcoming game against the Memphis Grizzlies. They are going to be missing several guys, actually. They are missing, let's see. I mean, Ja's going to play, so that's good. At least we'll get to see what he can do out there against these Knicks. I thought I had it here, but it's all right. It's nobody that hasn't played. Wait, here we go. No. I had it set up. See what happens. Oh, here we go. Zach Edey, not going to play. Yeah, he's out. Ty Jerome is out as well. Here we go. Ty Jerome is out. Scottie Pippen Jr. is out. Brandon Clark is out. Knee surgery recovery. And Javon Small, sore toe, so he's out as well. But Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to play. John Morant's going to play. But they have been struggling of late, even though I think they did pick up a win recently. But against the Knicks, look at that. They had a 1-5 record in the last 5 matchups against us. We beat them in a February 28th game by 1 point. But then about a month before that, the Knicks, we destroyed them 143-106. And then the previous season in February, it was a nice win, a 10-point win there. That was back when we had Julius. And then did Julius play in that game? I believe he did. And then January 13th, before that, the Knicks won that one, 106.4. The last time Memphis won. So the Knicks have won 4 straight against Memphis, dating back to November 27th, 2022, when they lost by 4 points. That seems like such a long time ago. Long time ago right there. Oh, if you want to support the channel, please join. The button's down below. You get access to members-only videos and shorts, discounts on merch. My merch. Look at that. It's beautiful New York embroidery with the Knicks-Verse logo. Not wearing it right now because I just took a shower. Got my hair looking good. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to get some hat head yet, you know? I'll look good for my girl when she comes home. And then, speaking of the merch, there's T-shirts. This is a really cool shirt, the New York Basketball 2025-2026 on it. And then the Adidas pullover. It's embroidered here, and it's even embroidered on the sleeve. It's awesome stuff. It's a great way to support the channel and get some great swag. Absolutely. Oh, man. So, this week, I think the biggest game, obviously, you know, you can't take any team lightly. No doubt about that. But the real concern here is the Heat, but we get to play them at home. So last time we faced them on their floor, but now we're going to play them at home on Friday, and I believe that is an NBA Cup game. It should be. It's not listed there. But let's get to this. Let's look at the next 9 games. So we have Memphis Tuesday, a Magic on Wednesday, who are 4-6. They're both losing teams, 4-7 for Memphis, 4-6. Miami's at 6-4, just one loss more than the Knicks. By the time we play them, who knows? Knicks will be 8-3 probably. And then we play Miami again on Monday in Miami, and it's the end of the longest homestand, I think, in the history for the Knicks. We go down to Miami. So that'll be interesting. It's always tough to beat a team twice in a row, as the Bulls found out when they faced us. So we'll see how that goes. Let's say the Knicks split one of those 2 games, right? So we win Tuesday, Wednesday. Let's say we win Friday. Good. Finish it out. Nice 7 games in a row at home wins. And then we lose the Miami one. But then we go to Dallas. That is a game that the Knicks should win. That should be a W for the Knicks. So then they'll be 9-4. Then we face Orlando again in Orlando, November 22nd. It's an NBA TV game. Again, that's not back-to-back games, but if the Knicks could really establish themselves and take that win, that'd be fabulous. Then they'd be 10-4. Then we come back, play in Brooklyn, but we know it's going to happen there. It'll be 11-4. And then they go down to Charlotte. Charlotte's been, an interesting team. I think they're a team that could put it together at some point and pick up a few wins. They're not going to, scare anybody, but they're not a pushover at all. But I think the Knicks should be able to handle that one. They should be able to handle it. And then we have the Milwaukee Bucks, but at home. That is going to be the game to watch on November 28th. Will the Knicks inflict the pain that they received in Milwaukee on the Bucks at MSG? I mean, right now, all signs point to yes. Milwaukee lost to the Rockets yesterday. It was a hard-fought game. Their offense completely stalled in the last few minutes of that game, and then Giannis, who was hitting his free throws, couldn't even hit free throws. So they are vulnerable. They are a vulnerable team. The Knicks need to exploit that. So I'm seeing maybe one loss in the next 9 games. Ooh, wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be sweet? I'd take it. I'll take it. All right. Thank you guys for watching this. Not sure I'll be doing a live pregame show tomorrow. Kind of previewed this one right now, unless there's some major differences or whatever. But of course, I'll be doing a postgame show. Probably won't be live. It'll be recorded, and then we have back-to-backs. You'll see one on Wednesday. The Wednesday game, I probably will do a pregame show for the Wednesday game because that is a key game for the Knicks. I'd like for the Knicks, because they're Eastern Conference rivals, the Knicks to beat the Orlando Magic twice in the next 2 weeks. I want to see that happen. I'd love for the Knicks to sweep these next 2 games against the Heat as well, but we know that it's tough when it's back-to-back teams to see each other right after playing them. It's a little difficult. But at this point, it's just great to be a Knicks fan. It's great to be a Knicks fan. Okay. Again, my name is George. Follow me on social media. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on a notification bell if you haven't yet. And drop your comments. Definitely want to hear your thoughts and feelings about anything Knicks and anything NBA. Anything NBA. And share the video. That'd be great as well. Check out the memberships. It really helps the channel. Check out the merch. The awesome merch. And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. Come on. 8-1.